Hi, my name is Hermie Smit, and I'm a disciple making movements coach here with City Team in sunny San Jose, California. Um, I want to talk just briefly today about the Discovery Bible Group questions. I get a lot of questions asked. People ask me, do I have the right questions? Or, organizations like City Team and others have developed several different scripture lists. And as people access these online or look at them, they see that the questions aren't always the same, it's not always worded the same. So that created some confusion for some. So I want to talk a little bit about that. The Just right off the bat, the wording is not as important. The key thing is to understand the DNA that's embedded in this question. What's the meaning? What's the expectation that the question is really setting? Um, and then you want to understand also what are the complete DNA of a Discovery Bible group. Um, and so key there is in some context asking it the way that it's written down on the scripture list may not be the best way to convey the DNA. I'll give you an example. The list that we provide, the first few questions is as follow. What are you thankful for? And then people share. Then the facilitator asks, what are you struggling with? How can we help? Then people share. Then the third question would be is, what needs outside the group do you know of that we as a group or as individuals can meet? Well, those are the standard set questions. The DNA there behind is, what are we thankful for? We want to develop an attitude of gratitude. We want to, and later as people discover God, we want to start giving thanks to God and express that. That's a form of worship. The second question, what are we struggling with and how can we help? We want to start to open up and start to love one another and serve one another and minister to one another. And what needs outside the group is there that we can meet. That leads to, loving your neighbor. That leads to outreach. That leads to evangelism. So and so the group doesn't only just focus inward, but also focus outwards. Sometimes, though, in some contexts, the wording as is not the best way to ask that. So, for instance, my friend in Sydney, Australia, started several groups predominantly in the Asian community. And when they ask, what did you struggle with this week and how can we help? People didn't share. It was just quiet. So after talking with some of the group members, they found out really the word struggle is somewhat embarrassing or maybe even shameful to start to admit that I'm struggling with this, or it's maybe too powerful of a word. So my friend's wife was a teacher for young kids. She just started asking, hey, okay, so what put a smile on your face this week? And people start sharing. What put a frown on your face? And that gave people the permission to start opening up. So, again, the wording, you may have to experiment. If you're new and this is your first group, I would say stick with the questions as it is written. Make sure you ask all the questions before you start changing. I won't also change right after the first meeting. Wait a while. It is a little bit foreign in the beginning for people, to start opening up. So that takes some time to develop some trust and so forth. But if you see consistently people really challenged with that, ask the person of peace or the people or the key person in the group, hey, this is really what's behind the question. Is there a better way to ask this question that will allow people to really open up more? And just listen. And then if you find a better way, change the question. Ask it. If you in that context, that's the way the question should be asked then. And please share that back, share that with the person that's coaching you and that's mentoring you, because that may really help others groups within that context to not have the same barriers. So I hope this was helpful, and go have fun obeying the Great Commission.